you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my...
Ah, yes, those iconic lyrics that once shook the entire planet. But behind that catchy tune and glittering fame was a drama-filled roller coaster few ever saw coming. Headlines blazed, whispers turned to rumors, and the group that once stood as the epitome of girl power began to fracture. And at the heart of it all? Geri Halliwell, embroiled in scandals and contradictions that clashed with the very image she helped build.
Bottom line is, I told the Spice Girls I was going to leave in September at the end of the world tour. That's when I wanted to go. And I told them that at the beginning of the tour, so it was no surprise that I was going. However, I did leave.
What really happened to the Spice Girls? What force could possibly shatter a phenomenon that had conquered the globe? Grab a snack, settle in, and buckle up, because this isn't just a story of fame. It's a whirlwind of ambition, betrayal, heartbreak, and one of pop culture's most unforgettable implosions. The birth of a powerhouse. It all started in 1994 in the UK, when a father and son team, Bob and Chris Herbert, decided the music industry needed a shake-up. Boy bands ruled the charts, but the Herberts had a vision, a fierce, fabulous girl group that could rival any of them. So they put out a casting call. Over 400 women showed up to audition, each dancing, singing, and fighting for a shot at stardom. Out of that chaos emerged Victoria Adams, Melanie Brown, Melanie Coloma, and Michelle Stevenson. Mel C., Melanie Chisholm, missed auditions due to tonsillitis. And then there was Geri Halliwell, determined, bold, and persistent. She practically begged for a chance, and finally got it. Spoiler, she would change everything. Eventually, Melanie Coloma was cut, and Mel C. joined. The lineup was set. Their first group name? Touch. Not exactly pop royalty, but they moved into a house together and started rehearsing like mad.
If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends.
Does anybody believe we're on news at 10?
I'm Geri. Hi, I'm Victoria.
Hello, I'm Melanie B.
Hello, I'm Emma. Hiya, I'm Melanie.
For some, like Victoria, it was the first time living away from home. It wasn't always easy, but being together, leaning on each other, bonded them like sisters. They spent months in 1994 recording songs, none of which ever made it onto a future album. Still, they poured themselves into it, choreographing routines, rehearsing constantly. But then drama struck. Michelle Stevenson, one of the original five, was out. Rumors say she lacked commitment. In her place came Emma Bunton, the soft-spoken, sweet blonde recommended by their vocal coach. And just like that, Baby Spice.
Because we are able to go off and do like single things, it makes us even stronger because we really enjoy being the Spice Girls. That is our main priority. So I think it just, it's just nice to be able to venture out and do a little.
The Spice formula, the final group, was lightning in a bottle. Sporty Spice, Mel C. Athletic, grounded, always ready with a high kick. Baby Spice, Emma. Innocent charm with playful pigtails. Scary Spice, Mel B. Loud, confident, and impossible to ignore. Posh Spice, Victoria. The fashion-forward queen of chic.
From around my finger.
Ginger Spice, Geri. A red-haired firecracker in a Union Jack dress. Each girl represented something unique, and that was both their greatest strength and biggest challenge. Creative control and rebellion. As their chemistry gelled, they began shaping their sound. They wanted their own voice, their own lyrics. But the producers? Not having it.
much more work to do, and you actually put yourselves up on a pedestal sometimes. I think you do.
Nobody was like,
They told the girls to learn how to write songs properly. Did the Spice Girls back down? Not a chance. They took songwriting lessons, penned their own tracks, and rebranded from Touch to Spice. The name change fit. Things were heating up. But beneath the glitter was a battle for control. They realized they were being micromanaged by their management team. So, in a bold move, they staged a showcase, wowed industry insiders, and when the Herberts tried to lock them into contracts, they walked. Rumor has it they even took their master recordings with them.
I'm thinking, actually, it's good that we haven't got a contract.
We had such a vision and we wanted to write our own songs. We didn't want to be told what to do, what to wear, what to sing. We didn't want to be told anything.
Now free, they found a new producer, recorded demos like Say You'll Be There and Who Do You Think You Are, and eventually signed with Virgin Records. Then came Wanna Be in 1996.
you gotta, wait a minute, wait a minute. You got it, he's on.
Global explosion instant, massive, unstoppable. Wanna Be hit #1 in over 30 countries. With one single, they went from nobodies to global sensations. They weren't just a pop group, they were a movement. Girl power, friendship, fun.freedom. They met Nelson Mandela, Prince Charles. Their faces were everywhere. Teen pop was reborn, and it all began with 5 bold women from the UK who had something to say. Then came the film Spice World in 1997. They were still on top of the world, until the unthinkable happened. Geri's shocking exit, May 1998. Out of nowhere, Geri Halliwell quit the group during the middle of a tour on Mel B's birthday. According to Mel B, they were on a private jet when Geri said, "Bye, girls." Everyone was confused. Geri had vanished. Lawyers were involved. Nobody knew what was happening. The official statement claimed exhaustion and differences within the group. But fans weren't buying it. Behind the scenes, tensions were boiling, especially between Mel B and Geri. Some claimed Geri felt ignored, overlooked, like her creative spark was no longer welcomed. Others whispered about a secret romance between her and Mel B. The secret flame? The chemistry between Mel B and Geri was no secret. They were inseparable. Mel B once described her as brave, bold, and a mirror to her own intensity. But soon, things got messy. Mel B became engaged to dancer Jimmy Gulzar. Geri, some said, was heartbroken. Was it jealousy? Rejection? In her book Brutally Honest, Mel B talks openly about love, pain, and passion. She even named Eddie Murphy as the love of her life. But fans still wonder, was Geri part of that story too? Their closeness was undeniable. Their fallout, devastating. The fallout. Soon after Geri left, Mel B told a newspaper, "We're stronger than ever since Geri's left. We don't need her anymore." That quote cut deep. But it wasn't just the group that suffered. Geri did too. She revealed later that her father's death deeply impacted her. She struggled with an eating disorder. Grief and pain consumed her. And her way of coping? Control, including over her body.
Advice, if any, would you have for her?
Oh, it's such a tough one, it is, because I think for girls, it's really common, does my bum looking big in this, and it's whether you take it to an extreme. And for me, there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Meanwhile, Mel B remembers Geri lashing out emotionally. Things became difficult. Arguments flared. The once unbreakable bond had cracked wide open. The remaining 4 Spice Girls pushed forward. They completed their European tour, released their 3rd album, Forever, in 2000. But without Ginger Spice, the energy had changed. The sparkle dimmed. A month later, the group announced an indefinite hiatus. Life after Spice. Geri tried launching a solo career, but she missed the group, the sisterhood, the confidence that came with walking into a room with your girls at your side. She emotionally shut down, stopped eating, felt lost. Eventually, she began healing.
It's a shame. Geri leaving really was kind of the beginning of the end. But the other thing is, it's incredible to think everything we did was in 2.5 years.
And with time came reconciliation. She visited Mel B face to face, apologized. They talked, cried, laughed, forgave. That moment sealed their bond forever. From there, reunions began. Concerts, appearances, nostalgia soared. Fans were overjoyed.
Obviously, we've all been in contact. She's still very much part of the Spice Girls. She really supports us, and we really support her.
Where they are now. Victoria Beckham, Posh Spice. Now 50, she's a fashion mogul with a $450 million empire, still serving sleek brunette vibes and training 5 days a week. Mel B, Scary Spice. At 49, she's a fierce advocate against domestic violence, bringing truth and power to the forefront. Her net worth? $6 million, and growing. Emma Bunton, Baby Spice. Now 48, she's built a successful brand, especially in eco-friendly home products. Her warmth continues to shine. Mel C, Sporty Spice. At 50, she's a balanced, grounded force, still rocking her music career, fitness, and self-love journey with a $30 million net worth. Geri Halliwell, Ginger Spice. Now 52, she's open about life's challenges, her mistakes, and finding strength in being true to herself. She's worth $40 million and still evolving. The legacy. The Spice Girls weren't just a girl group. They were a cultural revolution, a movement, an anthem for every girl who dared to dream. Their journey was messy, raw, and real, but that's what makes it powerful. Behind the glitz was pain, behind the power was healing, and behind the pop was a story of resilience. So the next time you hear "Wanna Be," remember, it wasn't just a hit song, it was a battle cry, a bond, a beautifully imperfect legacy that continues to inspire millions around the world. And that is what really happened to the Spice Girls.